back, viewers. The program is focused on Africans, and our distinguished guest today is Mr. Toni Kofi in Amsterdam. We have been following his life story, how he joined the revolution, and now we're in Lomé. You were told in Lomé how they wanted to organize to kill you.
Yeah.
What did you do after Lomé? Or how long were you in Lomé?
When I was in Lomé, like I said, I didn't have money.
Okay.
People would think if you are former, what?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you as a former secretary, former minister.
You have to be corrupt to have money. In terms of, my salary is coming to
From
me
teacher,
as a teacher.
yeah.
So where?
Don't you have access to other funds?
No, I
to
mean,
make you escape.
I escaped with the little money I had to
Lomé.
pass through with the car to Lomé.
He got you to Lomé, then you are
Then I'm almost stranded.
So what happened?
So I stayed with the uncle of one of that time he was the Minister of Trade, Kofi Mensah, in Lomé. And then I arranged to get some money.
Okay.
And I got some money from my sister in England. And I got some money from my brother in Geneva. And then I was waiting for the plane ticket. So I sent letters to, those days we didn't have mobile phone or internet and those things. So everything had to be either telephone, direct, or...
Okay.
And whoever will pay my plane ticket, I went to the KLM and I told the manager, he was a Dutch guy, and I said, listen, this is my story. I have to leave this country. I'm not safe
as a refugee.
Here. Yeah.
Okay. You were seeking refugee?
Yeah, I had already sought to get the UN Commission.
Refugee status?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I told him I cannot stay there because
it was not safe.
Because it was not safe. Yeah. They can drive to Lomé and pick people up just like that. So one day I was there, the KLM manager sends on that my ticket has come.
From where?
From US.
Okay.
And then they added $200 for my pocket.
Which organization is it?
No. It's an individual.
Oh.
A friend of mine.
Okay.
Who paid. You can pay for the
and
ticket,
then
they issue me the ticket, and they gave me also $200 that the person said they should give me. And then that same afternoon, I flew.
So?
I flew by KLM on my way to Chicago.
Okay.
That's where I was going.
Okay.
To seek asylum. Because I said, whoever bring me the ticket, I come to you. Okay. So if you're in England, I come to England.
That was what you decided?
Yeah. So for instance, I know you in Amsterdam. I send you the letter. Yeah. I know her in this. Whoever bring the first ticket is where I'm going to go.
So you ended up in Chicago?
Then, no. I reached Schiphol Airport.
Yeah.
And they gave me the boarding pass, but the flight was late in the afternoon. But the flight from Lomé was early in the morning. Okay. Then, that time, inside the airport, there's a hotel, I think owned by KLM. So they booked me in that place for me to rest a little bit. In fact, the whole idea of leaving wasn't easy. But I was lying down about 10 o'clock. Then I heard in the public address system, you can hear it in the room, that I was to report KLM information. Okay. I got up, went there. They asked me for the
boarding card.
The boarding card. They took it. They said they can't fly me to Chicago. I said, why? Yeah, because they have instructions that they can't take me to Chicago. I said, what kind of thing? My ticket is for... it's a long story. Okay. But it was a Tuesday morning that I arrived here in Amsterdam. So then I started calling.
What was supposed to happen to you then if you cannot fly to Chicago?
Yeah. Either they take you back to Lomé, but how did they know I've left? But that's another thing. One day I have to find out who was behind it, Because there at Lomé, there was this guy from the American embassy who was trying to collect information from me. Okay. And I said, look, I'm not those Africans who, when they have problems, they come out and they start blabbing. I don't do that. So I don't know whether it was him or whatever, but then they stopped me. So, my friends in London, they called Amnesty International Amsterdam.
Okay.
And then this Amnesty International Amsterdam came to the airport to meet with me, talk about it, and they were trying to push for my departure to Chicago. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sleeping at the airport. I got tired. But then I had some Dutch friends who were Catholic priests in Ghana. They said, hey, what are you going to America to do? There's a lot of work for you here in Netherlands.
Okay.
So why don't you? I said, but your language. He said, everybody speaks English. Come on, come on, come on. So
okay, they visited you at the airport.
about 12 o'clock, I went to some the Amnesty International people went to whatever Ministry of Justice or somewhere. So somebody came to interview me about my asylum, and that's how.
Okay, they gave you asylum status here.
No, application for.
Yeah.
You see? Okay. So I got out. I stayed with some Catholic priests. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that was how I started. I look around. I saw Africans, and you try to talk with them, and I'm a very inquisitive person, and people were hiding their true.
And that was in the year 1984.
June.
You were talking with Africans, they didn't want to.
Yeah, Africans, because Africans were coming to that place was called African House.
Okay.
So Africans were coming there to see this, for the help, and I tried to, and then they would not talk, and I asked the priest, nobody want to talk. Nobody.
Were they afraid of what?
No, everybody want to keep their story to themselves.
Okay.
You see. Anyway, one day, this priest brought me to the Burma. I think Gurunda or somewhere.
Okay.
Everywhere I went, I had high life, Ghana music. I can smell Ghana food. I can hear people talking. So I told the man, hey, I think I need a place here. He says, oh, you must take your time. The Burma is not that safe. I said, come on.
This is my place.
This is the place.
To be.
Meanwhile, Amnesty International was also busy trying to find me somewhere nice, that will go to a former minister kind of status. No. I want the Burma. So, because they weren't moving fast enough, I rented one room with a white man.
You rented a room there?
Yeah, with a white man, because I have started the asylum process, so I had some income from socialities, and so on, so on, so on. And then I put application.
For your house.
I think I sent it Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, they called me that they have this apartment ready for me.
The same apartment?
Yeah.
You've been here all along?
Yeah. No. My wife used to live with me.
You have been in the same apartment?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've been here for 28 years.
This is serious.
Yeah. Same telephone number when I got, So,
and, you said you rented a room with the wife.
Yeah, because I couldn't stay there.
That was a big climb down.
Yes.
A former minister.
Yeah. The idea was here.
Yeah.
You never get out without meeting an African.
That was important to you.
Yes, that was important. Where you're living, you are other Moroccans or other people. But here, and then you want to speak with them and things like that. And meanwhile, I had some friends also in Kadiera and Kier. They have African Center. They asked me to give lectures, presentation about Africa. Those kind of. Immediately I was busy. Immediately I was busy.
You got involved with it.
Yes. And then I lived here because here you can know your own people. You can be close. You will know what they are thinking, their aspirations, what is, squeezing life out of them, That's why I like this place very, very, very much. You are confronted with your own people and
daily experiences.
so then things started. I cannot really remember. Then I'm in politics.
You went into
Links. Yeah. Already I'm talking here, I'm talking there. I was
the radio everywhere.
I joined
Are you
there
always
was
an activist? Huh?
there was my friends in London gave me 2 addresses here in Amsterdam. One lady was called Tara something. She was also a member of parliament some time ago. And Joe something. And we were putting anti-racist posters all over the place, not knowing the police.
Well, watching you?
So this guy, so they came to my house.
The police came to your house?
Yeah, the intelligence police to try to pump information out of me. Came the first time, second time. I told you, my friend, those Africans who leave their country, no matter my relationship with my president, I'm not going to wash our dirty linen here.
What did they say then?
That's why my asylum was refused. Because I didn't cooperate. But why should I cooperate?
They want to sell out.
Some of our problems, you have created the problems anyway. You know what I mean? And now I come to share my this thing. You won't do anything about it. You even make it difficult for my brothers and sisters left home. You think I'm a fool?
And they didn't like
yeah, they didn't like. So the man came the third time. Oh, you think about it. I never gave him any information.
So what did
Not one.
They didn't give you a salary?
No. I was refused.
How did you regularize your stay?
No, because then I had to make appeal.
Okay, then you appeal.
So I took a lawyer. Then my lawyer, a friend of mine who was the dean for Faculty of Law, Maastricht University, gave me a lawyer, a very good one, also here. And then I told him the story. I could show him. I let them bring newspaper cuttings from Ghana to show that I'm who I say. And then my Dutch friends also knew about that. So the guy knew that what I say, it is true.
Yeah,
so he says, you make appeal for me. And this appeal, you have to go to meet a panel in The Hague.
Okay.
And I went there. Then they were, I don't know what happened. I said, you don't know me. How can you say the things you are saying? Yeah. I'm either lying or you are lying. So they were all like, I mean, for this piece of to stay here for what? You know. And I must let small boys, talk. No.
What did they say?
No, what? The chairman of that panel
yeah.
They call it the appeal court, he was always laughing. He was laughing, and my lawyer was sitting down there.
And you knew you were telling the truth?
Oh, yes. Because when I said something, I said, why I didn't stay at Lome? I just explained. Why do you want to ask me again?
Yeah. Was not
you were not there with me. Go and ask the KLM manager. He's a Dutchman. Why I had to leave? Because Lome was not a safe place.
Yeah, it was an open,
you know what I mean? Because Lome, here is a line, Ghana part and this, and they were coming from Ghana to pick people.
Yeah. And you don't even know when you're in Ghana, you don't even know when you're
Yeah, sometimes you can walk and before you know it, you are in Ghana territory. So in the long run, I came here 84. It was, I think, 70, Berlin Wall. When Berlin Wall?
1989 or so?
Yeah, 88 or something.
Okay,
because that time, when I came, then I said I will study. So I did my first program, International Law and Social something.
Okay.
As a diploma. And then I said, why don't I do my master's? Okay. And I did my master's, International Relations.
Amsterdam or?
No, in The Hague, ISS.
Oh, ISS, okay.
ISS.
The famous one.
Yeah, so I did my master's in International Relations, And
did they eventually approve your studies?
Yeah, after my studies, one day I was sitting there, I got a post, this thing, A status, and blah, 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 blah.
So now you have no problem?
No.
And,
but you see, while they were waiting, I was not waiting for them.
You
I was busy doing things. I was busy doing things, And that time I give a lecture here and somebody else tells, hey, there's an African man. It's not like now that many Africans are talking.
Okay, before it was...
Before everybody was like this. Even my African friends, Chudi Ukabi, Chudi something. He's a Nigerian guy. Yeah. He says, hey, if you talk like this, you have to be careful. I said, careful for what?
How many letters?
When are we going to tell our story? I asked,
what did
when are we going to tell our story?
Yeah. If you are afraid of...
Always they are telling our stories for us on... I came to that TV many times. Yeah. And then people says, why are you so angry? Because sometimes I'm sitting on the panel with that people, but I force them to speak English. Yeah? Yeah. Netherlands one, so it's not English sort of thing. I'll tell the moderator, oh, you can speak English. And then there was a time where there was this member of VVD who was sitting in
one of the political parties.
Yes. And then even the commissaries of police was looking at it from my point of view. And then he was trying to drag it there. And I said, if you think we're a problem, give everybody 50,000 dollars. How will rush to the harbor to go back to our country? In the Kofi, you are laughing. Who will give you? I say, you say we're a problem.
That's not the problem.
Yeah, but let me tell you. Who is cleaning your shit? Yeah. On TV. I think I've got it on
the VHS.
Those old
VHS.
VHS. I think I've got it somewhere. I said, listen, that's the work we are doing. Yeah. All your second-hand car. America has a problem disposing of old cars. Here we are shipping it to our country. Fridges, we are shipping it. All those things you don't like. We are paying for it and shipping it. And what's your problem?
You still think we're a problem?
And the work we are doing too. You don't pay us wages. Many Ghanaians are suffering from backache and things like that. So what are you doing for us? You bamboozle us in Africa that here is a paradise. Mm-hmm. When we came here, then it turned into something else.
What did he say? What was he say?
Those days. Those days, the moment they put camera, before I know it, they're coming here. Oh, Mr. Kofi, are you home? And then before I know it, they have come. I say, what? There's some issue, and because just like I'm talking.
Yeah, okay.
Why should I, if I'm hiding something, it's just to protect you or her, but not me. Because me, they say you are a dead goat. A dead goat, you're not afraid of knife. What can you do to me? You know what I mean? Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, when I came here and I realized that this is not the paradise, that many people in Africa will save their money and all that
properties
and come here. So how do you help your own people to organize so that they can really get it out of themselves and use that information for something more structural? Okay. That's why I was having those weekend training for African groups.
Yeah, I was going to tell and to ask about your activities in the Ghanaian community. You've been helping.
Yeah.
Setting up one organization or the other.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have so many.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you see, my idea was that I alone cannot do all the work.
So it's like transfer of knowledge.
Exactly. You transfer the skills, the knowledge to other groups so they can do it. Yeah. Those days, you didn't have so many countries having their own identity association. Yeah. Okay. And that was one of my missions, to set it up.
But the problem they are facing is...
And then when we meet there, you see that everybody also thought it was a paradise. They came, it's not a paradise. And so, therefore, what? Therefore, you have to organize. You have to have an identity. You have to officiate. So I will show, or we will discuss the ways and means to have it go here. You can get startup money and register it and things like that. Then you can do your own thing. African women, I tried more than 3 times, it didn't work. Because the women, those who were married to that people, and those who they were not treated the same. Not Ghanaians. I mean, I'm talking about Africans in general.
Who are married to...
Yeah, they don't see their place here the same. Because, for instance, if I'm married to a white person, and we are talking about all the shit we are going through, if she listens to it every day, she will divorce me. Because always you are hitting at her edifices, you know, and things like that. So, and then I was also, because I was able to do that, because I was giving a lecture. I was giving a lot of their training courses. I was there.
On this program, Focus on Africans, hosted by the popular Pan-African writer Femi Akomolafe, who has devoted his entire life to championing African cause. We highlight this problem and try to look for solution. Focus on Africans is a program to watch, to meet with those with passion to build a better African for ourselves and the coming generations. Focus on Africans. Together, we can build a better Africa.
With your experience, also this very long experience and exposure in the community, what are the problems we still face as Africans in this country?
The biggest problem, from my point of view, is that people should recognize that the paradise they thought by leaving Africa or Ghana to this place, it doesn't exist.
It exists only in the imagination.
Imagination.
But can't they realize that when they come here? Or don't they realize that when they come
No,
here?
there are many people who came to my office. And then when I'm talking with them, and most of the time I ask them the question, if you have known this, would you have come? Oh no. And I said, if I've told you in Ghana or wherever that don't come, you would have, pushed me that I don't want you to come.
You don't want a
But always I wanted them to understand that what they thought was here is not there. Because that is the point you begin to look at your life in a more concrete way.
But if you're, sorry to interrupt you, but if we're in Africa, if you come there as an African who has lived in Europe, and you are telling people, of course, there are other images which they are bombarded with, CNN, BBC, everybody showing them picture of beautiful Europe and beautiful America, people driving around with limousines, drinking, and going to the wars to pick money. So people think that maybe you don't want them to enjoy paradise. So
you see,
we just have to try to understand from
the pity is those who lost a good profession
to come here,
especially the people who have their own business, both men and women, who had their own business, or they were running their own business, and then when the business was successful, then they thought it was time to come to Europe. And sometimes they sold the businesses. Then they come here. Then they are between the devil and the blue sea.
And that, you see a lot of that here?
Yes, there's a lot. Because somebody sent me to give money to somebody. And then when I went to this workshop, they repair fridges and things like that. Big. Two-store, big place.
Okay.
So when I gave the money to this man, I say, hey, how's master? I say, is he your master? Hey, he owned this place and he sold it to me, and
He went away.
I said, he sold this one to you? I went there. This guy was sleeping here.
And cleaning toilets.
He didn't even have a job. I think, he didn't have nothing to do.
No job, no.
How?
And it's all a lucrative business.
So you see them, sometimes they're sitting like this. Like, oh my God.
What have I done?
But then it's too late also to go back.
Because of the shame.
Because they think they will make it one day. Oh, there are terrible things people did. There are terrible things people did to stabilize, and all these traumatic experiences.
How do they deal with it then? How do they deal with it? Or would I be responsible for the terrible health problems?
If I had my way, nobody should bring his child
to this country.
It's the worst thing you could have done to your child.
Are you
Unless
talking about the people here, or are you talking about
the Africans who are here and they try to bring their children.
Or they should leave the children back home?
Yes. Because they have enough money to put this child
In a good school.
In a boarding school where they can pay for it. They can easily, pay for even primary school. They can take them to this boarding school, primary schools and things like that. And just they can take them to this boarding school, primary schools and things like that. And just keep on paying,
So what are some of the biggest problems facing the
Can you imagine a child living in Ghana or anywhere in Africa, where in school he has so many friends. When he come home, he has friends. They are free. The boys will wear a singlet and go and play their football till it's dark.
Yeah.
And they do this, they go here, they go there. They are so active. Yeah. Then you bring them here and put them in a flat like this.
So the after school, they are sitting down watching television.
Vacation time. That's why I was telling you about the summer school.
Okay, yeah.
Because the children didn't like summer holiday.
Yeah, because there's something for them to do.
Because summer holiday is the biggest punishment for them. Because they can't go out. At least school time, every day, they go out to see their friends. But summertime, they are sitting in the house. Can you imagine that? Now this person, a boy and a girl, I was doing some training for parents. I said, the fridge you are talking about, the child having the first time in her life or his life, his own room. In the beginning, it looks good. Later on,
because,
it doesn't look good anymore.
Doesn't mean anything.
Then that's why these young people stop smiling. Have you noticed that the children don't smile?
African children?
No, they don't smile. They don't smile like when in Ghana, hey, brah, and then they are smiling. You know what I mean? The smile is wiped out. Oh, it's the worst thing. The smile is wiped out. And sometimes they have to lie about things, to stay in the system. For instance, if they are this...
That's a very big problem.
Yeah. Okay. And then parents also try to be African parents. And then the school is telling the child they have certain rights.
So there's a lot of...
And there's a conflict in that single child.
Cultural conflict. No.
Because when you go to school, this is how to live here. Yeah. When he comes home, parents say this is how to live.
Dual personality then.
Oh, yes. It is so cruel. Believe me.
So they're not Ghanaian, they're not Dutch. They must
even if the parents will let them be more Ghanaians, I think it will save them than that confusion.
Because the lack of identity.
You see, some of the teachers are good, but I give you an example. There was a child who was sent home to bring the parents. Otherwise, he must not come to school. No. So the parent came with the child to my office. Say, what have you done? They said the child threw a stone and broke the glass window. So when I was talking with this boy, the boy was about 9 years, I could see the face, the hurt. So I knew he didn't do it. So I went with the mother and the child to that school. So I went to the head teacher and said, yeah, he did that. I said, but he said he didn't do it. He said, yeah, he did it. I said, how do you know? You know what he told me? Because that child couldn't look in his eyes. I said, God damn it. Is that all? He said, yes. Because if she's lying, he can look into my eyes. I said, this child has been brought up in a society where he must not look in the eye of other people.
Yeah. They didn't understand that.
Then I have to do all kinds of training for teachers. So, you see, something happened and then I'm doing training for this. Something happened, I'm doing training for that. I said, my goodness.
That's how the boy wanted to punish the boy.
Yeah.
Because they would not. So, Mr.
No, I'm just trying to give you an example. The hurt in this boy.
I can imagine,
that, hey, in this country,
your parents
I've not done this, and they say I've done it.
Yeah.
You see?
And I was just doing what my parents told me to look at it.
And some schools where the teachers make some lessons, make the African child sitting in the classroom feels so bare. Teacher teaching geography or whatever, bring Africa as an example, negative, 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 negative. So this child is sitting down there. The whole class is looking at him or her.
That happens there.
Oh, of course, it happens there. I went to, I've done a lot of projects. So I was doing a project in the schools. One day in Africa. I did a lot in the whole country.
Yeah, we'll go to ask about the African.
One day in Africa. So I have musicians, I have people who can cook, people,
Fashion
dressing and things. We go to a school, mostly primary school. So we start the day. We divide the whole school into groups. So from drumming group, you go to fashion group. From fashion group, you go to the other group. And then you go to the cooking group. So the food was not prepared by one group. Everybody passed 1 hour, we change, And then at the end of the day, they eat the food.
Okay.
The children love the food. The children will want to take some of the food to their parents to show to them that African food is very nice. Okay. We cook it ourselves. We use this, we use that. You see, I was doing that, but then I gave it to Joe. I said, I've set up this, continue with it, and until easy. I gave it to them. Okay. Continue, because the schools like it. It's a direct confrontation with Africa and build up a relationship with Africa through the drumming, mask making, dancing, and the food. You see?
The cultural understanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some of the so-called progressive head teachers, they like this kind of program because it solves a whole lot of problems for them.
Open their
Friesland, yes.
Maastricht everywhere.
You see? Okay. So the challenge was, you African, Toni Kofi, you have responsibility, both to your people and both to the Dutch people. Because each one is looking at the other with a lens which is not
skewed.
So the white people are looking at us with a skewed lens. We too are looking at them. So there was not,
no coming together. Mr. Kofi, this is very interesting. I think we need more than a day to discuss it.
No, let's do just a little and go.
You've been in Europe for a long time.
Yeah.
You also travel very often to Africa.
Yeah.
What lessons do you think we in Africa can learn from places like this country?
Listen, there is, of course, everywhere, if you have the knack to make choices, there are many choices Africans who have lived here can make. And those choices, for instance, punctuality. For instance, just simple thing, punctuality, keeping appointments, efficiency, like fairness. For instance, here, whoever you are, if you are going to any service point, you are taking a number.
No big manism.
No, big man doesn't come in. You must wait your turn. You see, in Ghana, at the airport, at the banks, at those places, some big man comes, he goes straight, and the service point is serving that person just because he's like this. So here, they try to look at everybody as equal. In Africa, they look at your dressing. They don't even know who you are. You could be, quote unquote, a professor. But because you chose to dress very simple, you go to that service point, you're not giving that kind of attention. This is one value.
So that's related to discipline. We should be disciplined. And
when we say discipline,
making
for us,
keeping them. Making appointment and keeping them.
Yes, keeping the appointment, 8 o'clock. In fact, I stayed for about 84 till Kufuor's time. That's about 60 years. I couldn't go to Ghana. The first 16 years, I couldn't go because Rawlings, things like that. My father died, I couldn't go. My mother died, I couldn't go because the family says, my friend, you just sit there because
it's not safe.
The
cost is not clear.
And you draw attention to us also on top, But when I went to Ghana, I was going to some place with some people. We were walking. Then before I know it, they were far behind. I said, are you not coming? They said, but where are you rushing to? You see, here you get used to, moving fast to save time and also good exercise. In Ghana, it's just like that.
Okay.
And maybe it's the heat or whatever. And then appointment, I made up. Sometimes I ask the person, what time are you able to come? So the person gave me the time. And I'm expecting that since it was not my time, it was his or her time, he will come at that time. So I stop everything, I get ready. Sometimes I have to wake up early because the person says, coming. And then, boom. And then when they come, storytelling. and when you get angry, they don't understand why you get angry. Because, you see, it's not time is money, but it's also another kind of respect to yourself. You fix the time, yeah. And then there's this also another picture which I like. Here, if you go to the universities, in the cafeteria or dining room, you don't see a professor, you don't see a student. Everybody takes this serving thing, join the line, put the food there, pay for it, go and sit anywhere.
That's really something.
Sometimes, before you know it, you are sitting with your own professor.
I remember the first day I closed from university. After the lecture, I was discussing with the professor, and then I thought he was going to his car. This man on his bicycle.
Yeah.
And then I said,
yes.
I said, even a messenger in the university will not ride a bicycle.
Because after lectures, you see students and lecturers, everybody climbs on the bicycle. Because the man has left his car in the house and bicycling. You see? So this kind of, I am this and that, even politicians.
The Prime Minister also, I saw him on bicycle.
I was in a shop in The Hague and supermarket.
Yeah.
And then the one I was working with says, hey, look at this minister. It was true, a minister.
In the supermarket?
No bodyguard, no nothing. Did you see Michelle Obama's thing? When she could disguise and go to supermarket because she liked to buy things herself, not sending,
Yeah.
And people who were like that, they become somebody, and all of a sudden they think that behavior or that habit is beneath them. And these are some of the things, you could learn here. And how they handle waste.
The recycling.
Recycling.
Don't waste anything.
And a room, one room, nobody's there, the light is on. Another room, nobody's there, the light is on. For instance, that people, when he's leaving the room, he puts off the light. Even nowadays, they have some kind of a key. The moment you remove the key from the front door, all the lights in the house go off.
Efficiency.
You see how, and this what they stress on. You see, you can go to a professor or big guy's house, and it will look almost like my house. They don't have to prove anything in that house.
The only thing you will see are books.
Yes, books. Books, you see. So that's why I have books here, I have books there, I have books beneath there, because you also tend to buy books, you see. And this where they are placing their priorities, I like it more than
moving on to materialism.
Yeah, they have moved away from that. And also how, for instance, here if you don't have money and you have a steady income, you can get a new fridge. If your fridge breaks down, you can get a whole new.
They make this easier.
Yeah, the how do you call it?
You pay monthly.
Yeah, higher purchase.
Installment.
You can buy. You can furnish this whole apartment with higher purchase, if you think you need those kind of things at the same time. You see, and their pension. My father went on pension after so many years as director of education, and his pension
Couldn't live on it.
Pension here, even if you don't qualify for a livable pension, they top it up for you to get a minimum income. There are people who have taught.
Yeah, okay, that's a very good point you made.
Yeah.
That there's a minimum level.
That everybody has a right to a minimum kind of thing.
Okay.
Some people are taking pension. I'm telling you, teachers, nurses who have gone on retirement. Some of them, they don't even get 200 CVs.
Okay. And what lessons do you think we should try not to adopt from Europe?
Even the Europeans have recognized that. That is isolation, looking at family as me, my wife, and my children alone.
The nuclear family.
Yeah.
They're moving away from the nuclear.
Yeah. Now they are trying to Oma and Opa. During my studies, we went to Bremen. Is it Bremen?
In Germany?
In Germany. The city is building some new living apartments.
Okay.
Where young couple can have their
grandparents.
No, the young couple will have their parents living next door. It's connected.
Okay.
So that the state doesn't have to give you extra money for creche and things like that, because your parents have their pension. And now it's also getting on in Britain more and more and more. The role of grandparents.
We are moving away from it. They are moving
yes, to it. You see? And you see that our old people back home, in the big cities, so-called educated elite, they are leaving them there. You see, maybe in the village, only few of them, they have the courage to bring their parents to live in their own environment, so that all the sacrifices, things like that. And then we know that our parents, especially the retired ones, have problem meeting the modern challenges, like income. And the needs have also become, those days they live in the village, but now they are living in the urban area. So they are buying everything. So, and these are some of the things, questions. I don't say we should do it. These are some things we have to look at.
Into consideration.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the whole question about education. For instance, in Ghana, more and more people are not having access to education because of poverty.
They cannot afford it.
Yeah.
But we have to close it.
We have to make education a right. Even in the 60s. Okay, can you imagine? In the 60s, it was compulsory and free. In the 60s, colonial, just after independence. We can afford it. We can still afford it.
We have a lot of
so that people who cannot afford it, you don't make it free for everybody. You look at people's income.
What they do in the Netherlands.
Yes. Okay. And then you can afford it, and then the child goes to school. Not only the school fees, but also the books. And if there's transportation cost or things like that.
The state should take care of it.
Otherwise, one day, you see, here is.
They don't want to leave people behind.
For instance, the Dutch education system. They have the university stream.
Okay.
It's there. Then they have what we call University of Professional Studies. Okay. Where people, just like Polytechnic type. You see, that these people, if they finish, they are more into industry or job than the person who went to the full university. But in Ghana, they look at people from Polytechnic and they say the person is far below, which is not fair. Because if you look at the transcript of a first degree person and a Polytechnic person, sometimes you see that they are about the same. But people think we should not bring everybody to the same level.
Okay, sir. It has been very interesting talking with Mr. Kofi, Toni Kofi in Amsterdam. We really could go on and on. It's very, very interesting discussion. My name is Femi Akomolafe. The program is focused on Africans. On behalf of my wonderful crew, Mariano Boye is on the camera today, and our people in Ghana, I say Thank you very much. And to the advertiser who make the program possible, I say we thank you for your patronage. And next week, we'll try to come your way with another edition of Focus on Africans. I say, until then, Ireo.